let the journey begin. Knowledge on tap, let the lesson sink in.
Imagine a world where you can't go anywhere without being watched, where every move, every choice, every thought you express is recorded, analyzed, and stored forever. Sounds like science fiction, right? Here's the problem. It's not fiction anymore. We've all read 1984 in school. We thought it was a warning, a cautionary tale about a future we could prevent. But what if I told you that the future Orwell described is unfolding right now, in our lifetime, and most people have no idea it's happening? Today, we're talking about the convergence of two unstoppable forces: artificial intelligence growing faster than we ever imagined, and surveillance infrastructure being deployed at a scale never before seen in human history. By the end of this video, you'll understand why the time to escape this reality may have already passed. Let's begin. The exponential explosion. When we talk about AI growth, most people think it's fast. They're not wrong, but they also have no idea how fast. The global AI market is worth hundreds of billions of dollars right now in 2025. In just a few years, it's projected to reach into the trillions. That's a many-fold increase in less than a decade. But here's the thing that should concern you. Those numbers are probably conservative. In 2024 alone, global investment in AI jumped dramatically. AI startups captured a huge share of all venture capital funding worldwide. The entire venture capital market is essentially betting on one thing: artificial intelligence. But the real story isn't in the money, it's in the speed. The computational power required to train AI systems, the actual computing horsepower, is doubling roughly every few months. Some researchers say it's now closer to every month for frontier models. We're talking about several times annual growth in raw computational capacity. GPU performance has increased thousands of times in just a couple of decades. This means the AI systems available 5 years from now won't just be a little better than today's, they'll be on a completely different level of capability. To put this in perspective, a huge share of people already use AI tools every day. Some of the fastest-growing AI tools in history reached millions in days, not months. We haven't even figured out what AI is fully capable of, and we're already making it core to how we work, how we communicate, and how we make decisions. And here's the critical part. This explosive growth is happening with almost no real regulation, almost no meaningful oversight. The technology is advancing in months, while regulations take years. We're watching a technology that could fundamentally reshape human civilization get deployed at scale with almost no guardrails. The robots are coming. Let me tell you about something that's no longer theoretical. It's not 5 years away. It's not 10 years away. It's happening right now. Humanoid robots like Tesla's Optimus are real, roughly human-sized, with human-like proportions, and powered by the same kind of AI that drives autonomous vehicles. They can walk, carry loads, manipulate objects with complex hands, and navigate dynamic environments using computer vision and real-time mapping. The production targets are not small, thousands of units in the near term, then scaling toward tens of thousands and beyond as factories ramp up. And it's not just one company. Other robotics companies are racing to build their own humanoid platforms. Warehouses, factories, and logistics centers are already testing robots that move like people and work alongside them. Entire facilities are being designed around this next wave of automation. Think about what this means. Within just a few years, you're going to start seeing humanoid robots in warehouses, in industrial sites, in office buildings, and eventually in public spaces. And here's where it gets really important for our conversation. Security robots already exist today. Robot dogs equipped with cameras, sensors, and AI are patrolling data centers, construction sites, and critical infrastructure. They can do real-time facial recognition, read license plates, detect anomalies, and distinguish between authorized and unauthorized people. They can send everything they see and hear back to a control center 24/7. So when we talk about surveillance, it won't just be cameras on poles and ceilings. It will be walking, talking, AI-powered machines moving through our world, collecting data on everything and everyone they see, streaming that data into corporate servers and potentially government systems. That humanoid robot walking past you, it's not just a robot. It's a mobile surveillance platform. The surveillance state is already here. You want to know what the future of surveillance looks like? Stop imagining. It already exists. In some countries, like China, there are hundreds of millions of surveillance cameras deployed nationwide. City streets, intersections, public squares, transportation hubs, all under continuous watch. These aren't just dumb cameras. They're increasingly powered by AI. Facial recognition systems can identify individuals in real time, track their movements, and link them to vast databases of personal information. Clothing, gender, age, vehicle, travel patterns, all captured and cross-referenced. The system doesn't just know who you are, it knows where you've been, who you've been near, and what you've done. And it doesn't stop there. In China, this feeds into a broader social credit system. Your behavior, your associations, your financial history, even your online activity can affect your score. That score can influence whether you can get housing, travel by train or plane, access certain services, or avoid public blacklists. Before you say,
"That's over there. That could never happen here,"
look around. Many governments around the world are expanding their surveillance capabilities. Facial recognition is being tested in airports, streets, schools, and stadiums. Police departments and agencies quietly integrate data from license plate readers, cameras, and other sensors. But it's not only governments. Corporations have built their own surveillance ecosystems. Major social media platforms and streaming services harvest enormous amounts of personal data on their users. They track what you watch, what you click, how long you pause, who you interact with, where you are, and what devices you use. All of that data is monetized, shared with third parties, and often retained far longer than you realize. Watch what happens when you visit a site one time and then see related ads following you everywhere online. That's not magic. That's a tracking infrastructure so detailed that it can build and maintain a constantly updating profile of who you are. And here's the part most people miss. Once the data is collected, it's extremely hard to truly erase. Copies exist in backups, partner systems, data brokers, and analytics warehouses. It doesn't just sit in one place, it spreads and it sticks. You leave digital footprints every day, hundreds of them, and every one of those footprints is being tracked, stored, and analyzed by algorithms you'll never meet, owned by organizations you don't control. The 1984 parallels. I want you to think back to 1984. Remember reading it? Maybe in high school? You probably thought, this is extreme. This is just dystopian fiction. Let's compare that world to ours. In 1984, the government has telescreens everywhere, monitoring citizens constantly. You couldn't escape the screen. It watched you in your living room, at work, in public spaces. Today, we have smartphones in our pockets, smart TVs in our homes, laptops on our desks, tablets in our bags, and smart speakers listening from the corner. Cameras in streets, in doorbells, in stores, on dashboards, on drones. Every device is potentially a sensor. In 1984, the thought police monitor what people say and think. Today, AI systems analyze your posts, messages, searches, likes, and watch history, building a psychological profile of you that can predict your behavior and preferences with shocking accuracy. In 1984, history is rewritten to control the narrative. Old newspapers are destroyed and replaced with edited versions. Today, AI can generate fake videos, fake audio, fake screenshots, and synthetic news articles at scale. Fake deeps can make it look like anyone said or did anything. False stories can be pushed across dozens of platforms at once. The line between real and fabricated is getting thinner every year.
Social media feeds and recommendation engines decide what you see, what you don't see, what gets boosted, and what gets buried. They're optimized for engagement, not truth. That usually means outrage, fear, and content that confirms your existing beliefs. In 1984, people know they're being watched. The telescreens are visible and obvious. In our world, surveillance is mostly invisible. You scroll your feed, you tap a like, you watch a video, and somewhere on servers you'll never see, those actions are logged, processed, and added to your profile. You walk down a street, and your face might be scanned without your knowledge. What terrifies me isn't just that the parallels to 1984 are real, it's that our systems are more efficient, more pervasive, and more subtle than what Orwell imagined. He warned about a future where a small group holds enormous power over information, perception, and truth. We are building systems that do exactly that, but dressed up as convenience, entertainment, and personalization. We read 1984 as a warning, but we're not treating it like one. Why you can't escape. So here's the hard truth. The time to completely escape this reality has probably already passed. It's not like there's one government program you can avoid. It's not one company you can boycott. It's not one app you can uninstall. Surveillance today is decentralized and layered. Governments collect data. Corporations collect data. Data brokers buy and sell it. Third-party trackers embed in websites and apps. Devices in your home and car generated continuously. Even if you use a VPN, block trackers, use private search engines, and lock down your settings, you're only addressing a thin slice of the problem. You can't opt out of being caught on cameras in public places. You can't opt out of other people's devices recording you. You can't opt out of your image ending up in facial recognition databases you never consented to. Once data is collected, it's incredibly persistent. It's copied, backed up, and shared. It moves between systems. It sits in logs, analytics tools, and archives for years. It fuels recommendation algorithms and risk models long after you think you've deleted it. Your digital profile is not just what you post, it's what you click, what you linger on, when you sleep, where you go, what you buy, who you spend time with, and how you move. All of that can be inferred, scored, and acted upon by systems you never see. And here's the economic reality. Surveillance is profitable. Advertising dollars, data broker markets, personalized services, risk scoring, insurance pricing, credit decisions, hiring filters, and more are built on top of personal data. There are trillions of dollars in incentives pushing in one direction: collect more, keep more, use more. The incentives for companies and governments are aligned toward expansion, not restraint. Technological progress is exponential. Regulation is slow, fragmented, and often captured by the very industries it's supposed to constrain. We have built and are still rapidly expanding a world where opting out entirely is practically impossible. What now? You might be wondering, if I can't fully escape this, what can I do?
On the individual level, there are still meaningful steps you can take. Use tools that respect privacy. Turn off unnecessary tracking in your devices and apps. Be intentional about what you share and where you share it. Use encrypted messaging when it matters. Support services that minimize data collection instead of exploiting it. These steps won't erase you from the system, but they can reduce your exposure and send a signal about what you value. But the deeper truth is this: the real solutions are systemic, not just individual. We need laws that limit what can be collected, how long it can be stored, and how it can be used. We need real penalties for abusing data, not just small fines that billion-dollar companies treat as a cost of doing business. We need transparency around algorithms that make decisions about our lives. We need meaningful oversight of AI systems and surveillance infrastructure. And we need awareness. Technology itself is not evil. AI can help cure diseases, accelerate research, improve education, and solve real problems. But if we ignore the power imbalance, the incentives, and the surveillance built into these systems, we risk sleepwalking into a future we never chose. Right now, we're at a fork in the road. One path leads to a world where surveillance is normal, manipulation is invisible, and freedom is slowly redefined until it no longer means what we think it does. The other path leads to a world where we use these tools with restraint, with accountability, and with respect for human autonomy and dignity. The future isn't predetermined, but it is being shaped today by the choices of governments, corporations, and all of us who use these technologies.